Parliament descended into pandemonium this week as Helen Zille, a senior Democratic Alliance leader and one of South Africa's most seasoned political figures, stood before the National Assembly and unveiled what she claimed were confidential memos directly implicating President Cyril Ramaphosa's office in covert, high-stakes deals. The live session, which began as a routine debate on governance transparency, quickly spiraled into chaos as Zille requested the Speaker's permission to present documents too important and too dangerous to ignore. Holding up a brown envelope and a stack of heavily redacted papers, Zille's face remained stern and focused. What followed would leave Parliament in absolute uproar. "These memos," Zille said, raising her voice over rising murmurs in the room, "are from within the Presidency's own communication network. They speak of secret deals, quiet handshakes, and decisions made behind closed doors with no parliamentary oversight. This is not governance, this is state capture rebranded." As she read directly from one of the documents, allegedly written by a senior presidential advisor, gasps and angry shouts erupted. The memo outlined a proposal to grant a foreign investment consortium preferential treatment in upcoming infrastructure bids, with explicit mention that the president has been briefed and is aligned. The memo also referenced sidestepping Treasury protocols and using executive discretion to fast-track the process. ANC MPs immediately began objecting, loudly accusing Zille of fabricating evidence and staging a political ambush. Shouts of "fake documents" and "cheap theatrics" echoed through the chamber. But Zille wasn't deterred. "You can yell all you want," she fired back. "But the truth is printed right here. If this is fake, then let it be investigated. If it's real, the country deserves to know who has been selling out our sovereignty behind closed doors." The Speaker of Parliament struggled to maintain order as the chamber erupted into shouting, with members crossing aisles, wagging fingers, and demanding either Zille be removed or a special session be called immediately to deal with the explosive content. Some MPs from smaller opposition parties even stood up in support of Zille, calling for the formation of an emergency ethics committee to authenticate the memos and hold the presidency accountable. The intensity of the moment was matched by the public reaction outside the chambers. As news of the revelations broke across television and radio, #ZilleLeaks, #Ramaphosa Memos, and #Parliament Chaos trended across South African social media within minutes. Across WhatsApp groups, Twitter Spaces, and community radio, the nation erupted in a frenzy of speculation, outrage, and calls for clarity. The documents presented in Parliament today have not been verified and are currently under review. The President has always conducted himself within the bounds of the Constitution and upholds the principles of transparency. We reject any insinuation of wrongdoing until the proper legal processes have been followed. But critics argue that this isn't the first time whispers of opaque dealings have surfaced under Ramaphosa's leadership. Many civil society groups, opposition figures, and policy analysts have previously raised red flags over the lack of transparency in some major national contracts, particularly in the energy, digital infrastructure, and defense sectors. We cannot wait for another commission, another report, another year of silence. The ANC has lost its moral compass, and the president, once seen as a reformer, is now deeply compromised. South Africa must decide if we'll be governed by secrets or by the rule of law. The DA has since called for a parliamentary task team to be established within 48 hours, warning that failure to investigate these memos would confirm complicity at the highest levels. The EFF, meanwhile, has demanded a full forensic audit of all presidential discretionary spending over the past 5 years. As tensions escalate and trust in leadership continues to erode, one thing is certain: the Parliament will never forget the day it was brought to its knees not by protest, but by the truth, or at least the claim of it, spoken aloud under oath. Now, all eyes turn to what comes next. Will the memos be authenticated? Will heads roll? Or will this too be swallowed by the slow-moving machinery of South African political theatre? Only time, and the courage of Parliament, will tell.